Well, because the TPs got blown down, and so did the Hogans. So the maintenance crew had to rebuild Pioneer Village for us, while we ended up relocating to Outpost for a few days.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but I will say the savior of the night was oh gosh, help me out, Justin. Who's the writer, the magazine writer? Shane
Dubau.
How can I forget Shane? He and like you and Chummy, I think, got our campfire started, and I always packed emergency food. So we had like a couple cans of beans that we just stuck right in the fire, and we're all just eating out of the that. And then we always packed like emergency number 10 cans of like peaches and pears. So I mean, that's how we survived our night. And
amazing. Thanks
So y'all,
for like the memories. I don't remember half of that, but it's all coming back.
Y'all mentioned the Hogan tents a couple times, and we haven't had those here at camp in quite a while. Where were they located within the PV area?
Okay, so
right behind where you're standing.
Kind of like behind you and close. Yeah, so yeah, like directly across from the picnic table there. So
over here.
Yeah, exactly. Like right in that field.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
There were two of them, two Hogans?
There was only one, and then
One Hogan
John
and
John and I slept in just regular pitch, in regular tents all summer, and then the two teepees were kind of closer to where the picnic table is. But yeah, we only had, again, the idea originally was that all campers would experience sleeping in a teepee and the Hogan. So it was like 1 week was to be girls in the Hogan, and then the other week the boys. But the teepees leaked water, and I think there were ants on the ground. It just wasn't conducive. So yeah.
Gotcha. And so you mentioned that the first summer y'all didn't have water out there. Katie or someone else, when did the pump get installed out here?
It was like the end of first session. And see, like the end of at some point during first session, Rob Johnston came out, and they had a whatever they do, a drill. So you'll see. I think our hands are in there, or we definitely I marked that.
That pad, the cement pad.
Yeah. And then what ensued from that, so Fred Brown was out there when that went in, and we ended up having a huge water fight, right? It was right after we had eaten, and we had all these number 10 cans and dumping water on everyone. Woo. Well, the water fight turned into a food fight, like massive food fight with like applesauce and God only knows. It was disgusting. But I think it was one of our campers, one of the girls caught a number 10 can wrong and cut her hand open. So Fred Brown, who was not good with blood, one look at it was like, I'll be right back with the car, right? He runs into camp to get the car. In the meantime, the rest of us are like stripping down. I want to say it was like Heidi Brun or oh gosh, I don't remember. And then we cleaned her all up and redressed her so she'd be presentable at the hospital, to get her stitches. And then, she came back and carried on as, life goes on at camp, right? Yeah. Incredible. Yeah,
That's awesome. And so, Katie, how long did those Hogan wagons survive here at camp? Or, how long
So they were still there. They were there all the years that we ran Pioneer Village, which I believe it lasted into the late 90s for sure, and maybe into the early 2000s. Maybe like 98 or 99 was the last summer. But that's what they lived in, the Hogans. And one of the last stories that I remember from Pioneer Village was that we had a huge thunderstorm, and Sarah Bild was the counselor out there, so I could look up what year that was. It was late 97 maybe. and lightning struck the ground right near the tent, and she actually felt the shock. She was out like securing things, and she actually felt the shock of the lightning strike.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think I was a camper at that time. I vaguely remember that as well. Sarah Bild was the archery area head
Right.
at the time.
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, so I mean, for those that haven't been here a long time, we now in the 90s, that's when this pavilion was built that we now use as an overnight site. So campers will come out, our main camp campers, traditional campers will come spend a night in this pavilion and cook their meals out. And PV is definitely a highly desired spot because it does have the water access to pump back there. And Scott, our property manager, has just been finishing up a new outhouse over there. Needs a coat of Camp Echo red paint, but it's a nice outhouse for many to use. Upgraded from
You'll have to have Betsy Donahue tell her story about digging the hole for the original outhouses out there.
yeah, unfortunately the health,
as only Betsy can tell the story, you know, so.
unfortunately the health department doesn't let us just dig holes these days. So this one's sitting on a precast concrete tank or something. We'll have to get into time, but we've got another little piece of history. I'm going to flip my camera back here at PV that we have this circle here, which, you know, I'm not an archaeologist. I'm curious if anyone can speak to what this concrete circle is, the history of this that I'm guessing might predate our use of this space.
Where is that in conjunction to the foundation of the horse barn?
So
Where's
that's over there.
the foundation is over there, huh?
That almost looks, but I don't know if it's big enough round. That almost looks like where one of the original teepees was, because they had it, you know, it was all stone, I think, you know, for the rain to drain into. I don't know. Justin, John, what are your thoughts? But I don't think
No
that's big
clue.
enough. I don't think that's a bit, without seeing you in it, I don't think that's a big enough.
This is me standing kind of near it.
No, that's
Oh,
not
yeah,
it.
no, that's
It's
too
only like
small.
4 feet across. Yeah, it's tiny.
Huh.
It's like an old fire circle.
Yeah.
It's the site of the former outhouse.
I'll start digging now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't know.
any questions? I know we got some contemporary Echoites or more recent Echo staff and participants. Any other questions about the early days of PV for folks who lived out here for 2 weeks? Nothing, huh?
I actually have a question. In those first couple of summers, did you use the outpost beach as your swimming area, or did you create a PV swimming area?
We cleared a beach in
You
PV.
clear the beach.
Yes.
But John, that was your second summer, right? First summer we used outposts the whole time.
Okay.
I don't know, Justin, you might have.
I don't remember, because I did PV 2 summers in a row, and I remember swimming at the beach, but now I can't remember if it was the first summer or the second summer. So
like-
Laura, I trust your memory.
I feel like, John, that was your big project, your second year. I don't know, Terry, you're here. You did a little bit of PV, right?
But John, that was part of our project with Rob Johnston's guidance, and it was probably halfway between Outpost and PV. It was down quite a steep incline, and we bushwhacked. It wasn't a very pleasant beach that turned out to be used for very long, but it kept our campers busy for that 2 weeks. And I want to say one thing about that foundation. If Rob Johnston were here, I know he would happily hold forth on the huge project of taking the horse barn that we still use today, leveling it, raising it over a period of days or weeks, and then somehow, I forget the contractor, he knows, but getting it on a flatbed. I can't imagine what route to drive it to where it sits now, closer
Probably
to.
through the small pines, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went through the whole path that they went. I can't remember what he said.
Well, they would have had to have gone down
Road.
around that field, right?
Yeah. They may have gone that way to the high road and then to the main road and then the main road through, and then they where the current horse ring was, they had at least a 2-track.
Yeah,
And
and
they
also,
made themselves.
I do recall it was at the end of the summer of either 84 or 85, but Laura, do you remember the carrier van was white and windowless, had a little red and blue on it? And for some reason, I was involved in driving back the remaining goat into town. I remember feeling a little self-conscious. We were bringing fewer than we started with.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well-
So Kaylee, I see you had a text just like, what did we do for food? And we only talked about our last night. We actually had assigned campers two cooks per meal. Like at the very first activity we did with our kids is we menu planned with them. And then, and it was kind of similar to what we did in Outpost. So 2 to 3 kids were on meal duty, and they walked into main camp and grabbed crates for our food, for like food that we couldn't store out in the silo. And then we cooked all of it over an open fire for every single meal.
How many campers at a time did you have out there?
The largest group was like 24, but
Oh
most
my
of them
goodness.
were like closer to 12.
Yeah,
Wow.
I remember anywhere from 12 to 20. So
I'll
maybe,
accept that.
but no, you might have, Terry, like what you guys might have had 20 years,
I feel like our group was a little smaller, at least the ones
but
that
we could have. I don't know. But 16 maybe, kind of average. I don't know,
Mhm.
Justin.
That sounds about right. I think we had 8
Yeah.
boys, 8 girls, maybe.
Something, kind of something close. I know the same when I did Leeds the year before. I think they kept my groups at around 12 to 16. Mary Corboy did Leeds that. The puppy party going on outside. But yeah, I think 16 I would say would be about average.
Yeah. Huh.
The McKibbins have a great memory for dates and everything. Or I'm sure Dan too.
Yeah.
They remember years and specifics. It's
Yeah.
part of their brain. I don't know how they do it.
My older brother Andy, and I would say Dan, who doesn't seem to be on it, or is he still on? I don't think so.
Dan's
Oh,
still
yeah.
there, yeah.
Still here, Earl?
I would say my Dan for sure, and my older brother Andy probably have the best elephant
good memory.
memories. So to speak.
No, Rob's that way too. Rob's definitely that way.
No,
Is
he
he? Okay.
needs me for help, Dan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we play off each other, and that's how we remember stuff.
We haven't heard from you yet, Dan. Didn't you get an award for you got $5 for not doing anything? Or
Me?
Do you remember that, or you got some kind of award? It's up. It was like painted on a broken wooden water ski. What was that? Or maybe you, as an LIT?
No, we were slave trade for Rob Johnson.
Oh, really?
That was
Slave
his- that was so you guys didn't do anything as LITs. You made your counselor do everything. And Rob Johnson, his first year as the camp direct, well, whatever it was, maintenance guy, and he made us work.
Yeah. That was his first year?
And that was his first year. Was our LIT year, yeah.
What year was that?
81.
In
80, 81.
Yeah.
Yeah, what, I want to say it was 80 because I had just graduated high school. And
No, it was 80. Rob's first summer as property manager was 81.
oh,
81.
okay. And it was my
December of 1980.
first year home from college then, because
Yeah.
Marie and myself and Donna were his very first opening crew with Bill Geiger and Bill and Beth Geiger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, who had just had their first baby.
Yes,
Name-
Laura.
And
Marie.
Laura's birthday was May 16th. So
Wow.
she was like 2 weeks old when you all moved up there.
Mm.